Hello. Very excited to be here. So I'm now going to go live on both Instagram and YouTube. Hello. Yay. Okay. Great. So welcome to Monday Talks Beneath the Surface. And I'm here every Monday with you, and we're talking about subjects that are going to help us be and feel more fulfilled, create meaning, and just feel integrated in alignment. Okay. So, one of the things that comes up a lot because we're human beings, right, is this subject of, well, what do I do when I feel down, right? What do I do? Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. So what do I do when I feel down? What do I do when I don't have the motivation? So there's different variations of this subject, right? The first one is I don't have the motivation, right? The next one is I feel resistance. I'm going to put this on because it's cold here. I feel resistance, right? I feel resistance to doing what I know I need to do, what I know in my heart I need to do, right? Or I'm just feeling blue. I'm just feeling down. I'm feeling like things are not working out. It's not worth it. Even if I do that, nothing's going to happen. Things are going the other way. So a lot of those things show up for us often. Yes, because we're humans and we're always living a whole game of emotions, and that is natural and that is normal, but that doesn't mean that it feels good and that we know how to proceed or process or validate all of those feelings. And at the same time, keep aligning with our goals, keep going, keep moving forward and not just staying in that inertia of, okay, I don't want to do anything, right? And so the first thing that I want to look at in this feeling today is the importance of noticing that a lot of times when we feel like that is because we have come outside of the now moment. It's very hard, I would say impossible. I'm looking up a little bit, but I'm paying attention here too. It's very hard, and I would say even impossible, to feel that you're down or to feel that you're sad or not motivated to do something, and at the same time, be present in the moment. And at the same time, feel that you are completely in this now moment. Because that feeling is always a consequence of I'm being too much in my head, right? Thinking, trying to rationalize what's going on, whether based in the future or whether based on the past, right? Something I said, something I did, something somebody said, somebody did. Yeah. My head, what happens is when I'm so mentally involved with what I think it's the issue, my mind wants to solve it in my head. And that doesn't allow me to be present in this moment, and more than in this moment, in my body. Yeah, so notice that. So if you clicked on this video because you're like, oh, okay, what can I do? I'm feeling down. Well, the first thing is bring yourself back to this moment. That's the very first thing. Okay. How do I do that? And a lot of times our mind resists this because our mind wants to solve it. Our mind thinks that only when I solve this situation am I going to feel okay. And that's not true, right? That is the the thing about our ego, right? Our ego wants to say, yeah, I can solve this for you. I can give you the formula. And after I give you the formula, you'll be happy. And your happiness depends on you doing this or that or some sort of result. And that's not really it. So the first thing I want to tell you is bring yourself back to this moment. How do I do that? You bring presence by bringing your power, your attention, meaning your energy. Remember, your energy goes where your attention goes, right? Your energy follows where your attention goes. So, how do I bring energy into this moment? By bringing down all the energy in my head into my body. And so that's what we call grounding, right? How can I ground myself? Well, for starters, the first thing that you want to do is to start using your senses. So you start touching some textures where you're at, right? It might be the textures of your blouse, my hair, it's my hair dry, we are trying to unlock that grasp that our mind has on us in that moment. And so let me touch, the fabric or the material of the chair I'm sitting in, or maybe I'm in front of a lot of people. I just need to go to the bathroom and do this. And so I'll sit down and feel the temperature, the texture. It could be in my clothes, it could be on my skin, When you're doing that, another thing that works really well for me and I always suggest is that you start in that moment talking to yourself. And who are you talking to? You're talking to your inner child, because your inner child is the one that is programmed to try to solve problems like that, right? Based on some sort of idea that everything is going to be solved if this happens, right? I'm going to feel great if they pay attention to me, if they come back, if they give me a call, if blah, 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 because that's the way that usually our inner programming and our limiting beliefs work. And so I start talking to myself, and that also brings me to the now moment, right? Which is, how are you feeling? Look at this texture, right now where we're at. Like just it could be random mundane conversations, right? But it could also be just little by little, as if you would be talking to a child, right? Do you want to leave? Why do you want to leave? Okay, I'm listening, I'm here. No judgmental. This is the most important part about starting to talk to ourselves. Non-judgmental. What we're doing here is we're just acknowledging that our mind is just taking over and that we're no longer in control, and we're bringing the control kindly and non-judgmental back, right? By integrating ourselves with our inner child. So recap, right? What we want to do is both bring ourselves to the present moment by making sure we have our senses involved. Our senses could be also like, let me drink my coffee and really think about how this tastes. How much have I paid attention to this taste, the smell of my coffee, the smell of my tea, what am I hearing right now? Oh, I can hear the zooming of the AC, or I can hear the birds outside. Like, it's all of my 5 senses. Yeah. And I'll start talking to myself right there. Even if this is just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, this is a great practice to have, a great practice to have. And at the beginning, it can still feel frustrating, because what we're doing is we are sort of like trying to compete with our ego, which is always offering us this, like, yeah, you're going to, either have this reward if you do this or that. So it's like instant satisfaction. Our ego wants instant satisfaction. And bringing ourselves to the present moment doesn't have that same instant satisfaction taste. But in the long run, remember that full joy comes from the amount of presence we can bring to every single second, right? It's not the accumulation of moments or the accumulation of experience or the accumulation of things or how much I do, right? It's the quality of my presence in each moment. Yeah. And so it's important to remember that, because that's where we're going to nurture that satisfaction, that plentitude, right? That meaning. In the long run and in retrospect, when we look back, those moments are going to have more meaning because we were present there. The ones where we are in autopilot, just in our head, thinking through, trying to solve it in our head, whether in the future or in the past, those are moments that are not really creating meaning and they're not really creating joy long term. They might create a specific result in the moment. Yeah. Like my brain says, I don't care how you're feeling, just go to the gym because you said you were going to go to the gym. Right. So I go to the gym and I maybe do this for a year. I will get some sort of results in my body. Right. My muscles are going to work and all that. But I'm not really creating the meaning. I'm not present for the transformation. Yeah. And so it's really important to notice this difference, because this is how we are going to be able to tackle, right? To tackle the feeling down. Okay. So what is it that we do after? Okay, I bring myself back to the present moment, right? The present moment also could be about watching, being a witness to our breath. So I'm bringing myself to the present moment and I'm seeing myself breathe, right? I am looking at all the, feeling all the textures, bringing myself to the five senses. All of that is happening and I start talking to myself. Now, what is the next thing that I like to invite you to do, right? Chances are that you're here and you're like, if you're actually here and you want to do this, pause this video and do what I'm telling you. And then I have more for you. So, bring yourself back to the video. Okay. So the next thing is, okay, I'm now present. That means I've slowed down. Can you feel that, even though you might not be feeling like that right now? Can you see the difference of when we are in autopilot, we are in go, 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 because the moment is not satisfying us. So our brain is jumping ahead, right? Trying to look for something that's going to satisfy us. And it grabs something in our mind and it says, yeah, buy that, or can't wait to look at that show, or this or that. And then, but when we have it, it's not really fulfilling us. And so it's looking for something else, and so on and so on. It's a never ending list, right? And so I've slowed down. And a lot of times I would actually say to you, slow down from the beginning. But this is very frustrating for us when we are feeling like we are paralyzed by this feeling. We're resisting doing what we need to do. And so when I come here in that resistance and tell you slow down, it's like, what else do you want me to slow down? I'm completely paralyzed. Like there's nothing to slow down. But what I mean by slowing down, it's all of those things that I told you, right? Slowing down in your brain, right? And bringing yourself back to the present moment. I'm not talking about stop doing things, right? Or stop doing them fast. Chances are, if you are feeling down, you're not doing that much. And even if you're doing like things that I just described that aren't things that are really satisfying you. And that's it's kind of like the carb race, when you just have a snack and 20 minutes later you need to have something else, and 20 minutes later you need to have something else and something else, and nothing really satisfies you because you're never full, right? You're just having like this binging moment that is going to put you up and down in the next half an hour, 2 hours, and you're going to start the cycle again. Same thing happens with our brain, not only with our gut. Yeah. So what do I do next? So the next thing is to ask yourself the question of, where am I not in integrity? Okay. Feeling down, feeling sad, feeling lonely, it usually puts us in the category of we are in the victim mode, meaning something inside us is looking at life as if it's happening to me, right? Something believes that these things are happening to me, and therefore I am a victim of what's going on and I can't do anything about it. So we need to get out of that. And the way to get out of that feeling, right, to empower ourselves, is to ask ourselves, where is my power, right? Usually my power is whenever I feel aligned and integrated. What does that mean? That means that if I am thinking one thing, doing another, and feeling another, I'm completely out of sync. And that causes me to be in a low frequency emotion. Yeah. And so when I asking myself about my own integrity, what I want to ask is like, how can I realign those three things, right? What am I thinking right now? What am I doing about it? And how am I feeling about it, right? How can I align those things, even though when I can't necessarily take action on it? So I'll give you an example. Let's say that right now you are feeling really bad about your job. Yeah. You're feeling really bad about your job and you wish you didn't have that job. You wish you had a different job. Yeah. But the action is that every day you're waking up and going to this job. So the action is going to the job, even though you're not feeling like you're going to the job. In your feelings, you're feeling the total opposite. Yeah. And then when you're talking, you're also talking the total opposite. Or sometimes you're talking forward or sometimes backwards. So depending on who you're speaking to, maybe one person you're saying, oh, I hate this job, and then another person you're saying it's okay, depending on who this person is, right? But can you see how it's all over the place? What I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, and what I'm speaking are not going towards the same place. That means I'm not in integrity with myself. Yeah. When I'm not in integrity with myself, chances are I'm experiencing low frequency emotions. If I cannot quit that job right now, for example, I need to use in presence because our ego is not going to help us do this, because our ego is very proudful, and it's not really helping us align. It just wants to convince us to do things based on either rewards that is offering it to us, or either our biggest fear is trying to challenge us and say, hey, if you don't do that, right, then this is going to happen, which is your biggest fear. So our ego is not going to help us align, right? That's not our ego's intention. Our ego's intention is to keep us safe in survival mode in our safety zone. Yeah. So in order for us to align, let's say in that specific example, how can I really do that? If I don't want to go, but I feel like I have to go, right? I have to go because I have a family, I have to pay a rent, so I have to go to a place that I don't like. So I feel trapped. Yeah. So the main thing that we want to ask ourselves is, literally ask ourselves for real, right? How can I stand in my power and alignment? Yeah. In this case, I have many different options, right? How can I see the positive, the power of this job while I am looking for another job, right? How can I be honest every time that somebody's asking, how are you feeling? Well, you and honest means you can be confused. You can be aligned and confused at the same time, right? You can say, hey, right now I'm feeling confused about my job. These are the things I like. I feel right now there are more things that I don't like. And I'm not sure, but I'm feeling confused. Yeah. And so I am taking action in regards to that. I'm looking for another job. I'm asking for help here and there. I already commented to my boss about how I'm feeling and gave some ideas. But do you see the difference, right? What happens here is that a lot of the times this alignment requires courage, right? Requires that we jump into being honest with ourselves. And that is not always easy, but that is what is going to raise our vibration from that down moment. Okay. That is what's going to raise our vibration. A lot of times, what happens is we're not in that alignment, right? Maybe I'm feeling down because I'm really going to have to, let's say, I'm really going to have to start doing a surgery about an illness that I have, but I don't really want to do that surgery. I wish I could do something different because I'm scared because blah, blah, blah. And so I don't do the surgery. I also talk bad about it, but I don't know where I'm standing. How can you stand in your power? And the important thing is like this answer might not come right away, and it's okay. Here, the best outcome would be to plan ahead time where you can journal this question and see where you're not in alignment with yourself. What is it that you're doing, feeling, or thinking that is not aligned with the other two? And start digging deeper into that. It might take days, sometimes months. It might not be something that would be easy to find. But I promise you that when you find that alignment, that when you really try to find that alignment, it's going to show up, and it's going to really start changing and shifting the energy. And little by little, a lot of times when you're cleaning a glass, a glass that's dirty, that has like dirty water, in order for you to clean it, right? Because the dirt has come down and it's kind of there receding at the bottom for a while. When you say I'm going to clean this glass, you kind of go like this and it gets dirtier than it gets before it gets cleaner, right? Same thing happens with those down feelings. When you start to declare and to really start digging deeper into what's going on with those feelings, you're going underneath the surface and it starts getting darker until it gets clear. And so it's normal that maybe the third day or maybe that week you might be feeling like there's no progress. But believe me, every time that you are going beyond behavior, there is progress. What do I mean by beyond behavior? I mean, you're really trying to open up. What is it underneath your behavior that it's making you resist what you need to do, that it's making you feel that way? How does this feeling reminds you of something? Yeah. Okay, so summary is we start by bringing ourselves back to the present moment, using our five senses. We start talking to ourselves, and then we start asking ourselves, where is my power? We're bringing myself back in alignment. The other thing that it's a must that needs to be done is for you to start reclaiming your foundational habits. So I talk a lot about this, and I help you do this on my program, Conscious Woman Roadmap. What are foundational habits? Are those essential habits that without them really working out, we can't progress and do and feel better in life at all? What are those? Sleeping, exercising, eating well, money management, and creativity. Okay, there's some extra ones that can be just personalized to you, but foundational habits, I always call them, to think about them as babies that you are in charge. You're in charge your whole life, for the rest of your life, of these five babies. What I mean is you have to maintain them, feeling good, sleeping, just feeling all cozy, and just enjoying life. The moment one of those babies have been, putting, like, not being paying attention, and you're sort of thinking that, oh, everything is working well, even though I'm not exercising, even though I'm only sleeping 6 hours a week, even though I owe all this money, even though I haven't looked at my finances, even though I'm consuming more than I'm creating, one a day, soon enough, this baby is going to throw a tantrum and is going to start yelling. And that is what's going to cause you to sabotage your own progress. Or it could be done little by little to the point where you're feeling down every day and you can't accomplish what you need to do because you just don't have the energy, right? The hours in the day during the day are not enough because it's 3 o'clock and you need a big, gigantic pick me up in order to keep going with the day. And what does that mean? One of those babies have been neglected, right? Whether it's the sleeping baby, whether it's the food baby, you're not digesting well, you don't have enough energy, something is draining you. And for sure, it's in one of those 5 babies. So this is essential. I promise you that even if you are in your head all the time, and you haven't done the other things that I told you before, the moment you think about it, what's the baby that I need to focus on? A lot of times they are all connected, right? Meaning, of course, when you eat better, you're going to exercise better, you're going to sleep better, and you're going to have a more clear mind to focus and look at your finances, for example, or to create. And you're going to be a lot more focused on creating and ideas. Of course, they're all connected, but you always know which one is it that right now, right in this moment, when I just said that, you started thinking like, oh yes, I know what I have to do. Right? I know what I have to do. And of course, that has an impact on our hormone level, that has an impact on avatar. Our avatar has to be in an optimal, pristine, sort of energy and maintenance so that we can then be able to keep going at our dreams. And I'm not saying, oh, if you don't do this, I mean, we all go into the moments of, oh, I was sleeping very well and now I'm not, or I was doing this very well and now I'm like back into this hole and I have to pay attention to this baby. It's really natural and it's really normal, and we go back and back and back, and it takes us a while for a lot of us to just really understand, oh yes, my finances. Again, for example, right now I'm in an important place of taking care of my finances baby. And this has been one of the babies that has been the most challenging for me in my whole life. And you'll realize that some of your babies are always going to be more challenging than the others. And a lot of times you're able to go over that same pattern and then also realize, oh, that used to be one of the babies that I've always been challenged by, but not anymore, for example. Every time that you, in each phase of your life, that you go back to working to a specific baby, you understand, oh, it was all about maintenance. It was all about taking care of my babies all the time, not waiting for them to wake up and cry and throw a tantrum, but to always be attentive and ask them, hey, how's my sleep doing? Hey, how's my exercise doing? How's movement? How's my creativity doing? Am I creating more than I'm consuming throughout the day? Am I putting my ideas into practice? No. Okay, then this is the baby I need to work on. What is stopping me from doing that? Yeah? Okay. Any questions so far? Let me know. So far, when I was giving you that analogy of the babies, the point is, we need to make conscious decisions with our body. We really need to take care of our avatar. We really need to take care of what is going on in our body in order for our body to help us then co-create what we need to do. But if we're not fueling our body, then our body, even though our body wants to help us, It just doesn't have the capacity to do it because we're not giving it the right fuel. We're kind of like, our body works as a seed, right? Our body needs specific ingredients, specific environments, specific things in order to flourish. And so if there's a difference, there's a huge difference of flourishing like really big and whole, like when you see plants that are like, wow, so beautiful, and then you see plants that are like this plant I have right here, for example. There's so many beautiful plants. She's still alive, you know. I'm really still trying to find the best environment and ingredient for her. And you can say that, this is still, a leaf growing here. But is she thriving? No, she's not thriving. So that's the question that we need to ask ourselves in terms of these five foundational habits. Am I thriving in these five foundational habits? And that is going to take me right away to the immediate medicine that I need in order to get out of this feeling down. Okay? I hope that helps a lot. Okay. Who's here? Hello, everyone. Okay, so I think the last thing that I want to share with you is that in the betweens, when you're looking for that alignment, when you're looking for that congruency, right? When you're looking for, okay, how can I, when I say that I say what I do and what I'm feeling is going towards the same area, how can I find that? Sometimes it takes us a little bit to get there, and that is okay. But in the meantime, the magical ingredient besides presence is gratitude. And so in order for me to be present in the transformation, be present with the low emotion, with feeling down, with feeling resistance, we're not really getting the results that I want, the big shift, right, is to ask myself, okay, in the meantime that I find that alignment and that power, what am I grateful for about this situation? What am I grateful for about this situation? What am I grateful for about this situation? So let's go back to the example of the job, right? I hate this job. I really want another job. I can't find another job, right? What am I grateful for about this situation? And it's not a one-time thing. Just keep doing it every day, every morning when you're dedicating time for yourself, right? Every night before going to bed, what am I grateful for about this situation? What am I grateful for about this situation? And even if you don't feel, right, that energy of gratitude coming in, and you're still in that phase of, I still feel like a victim, like this is happening to me, but I'm grateful for this. And this is happening for me, but I'm grateful for that. That is the beginning of the movement. The movement is happening. Have a lot of faith on that movement. Have a lot of faith on yourself. And even though things are moving slow and you are not seeing results, movement is happening, transformation is happening, progress is happening. The fact that you're doing these mini exercises every day is happening. Be there for yourself and tell yourself when you speak to yourself, hey, don't worry, I've already noticed you. It is happening. I'm doing something about it. Be patient. I'm showing up. I'm showing up in alignment because I'm feeling this, I'm doing this, and I am expressing this. It's all the same thing. So sooner or later, eventually, it's inevitable that it's going to show up and it's going to reveal itself in my life. Yeah. And so the last thing that I want to say is it's a no. It's important that you don't call or connect with somebody that is going to accompany you in victim mode. Okay, because what that's going to do, it's going to make you feel temporarily good, temporarily okay, right? Like you're not crazy and like you're okay. And somebody can just listen to you and you can feel that same thing. Somebody can hold space for you and you can feel the same thing. But there are people and this might be you too. I sometimes do it completely unconsciously too. It's like sometimes we think that in order to make you feel better, it's better if I become a victim with you, right? Like, yeah, that's a horrible job, yeah, you should quit tomorrow, right? That's not really what we're looking for, because that's sort of amplifying the voice of our ego. What we're really wanting to do is to bring ourselves to the present moment, to gratitude. How can I expand this moment right here, right now, by bringing all my senses into the now, not by engaging the conclusions of my mind with another person that is in their mind as well. Yeah. I want to ground myself and get away from my ego, right? Bring myself back to understanding myself with all my lights and with all my shadows. Yeah. So I'm here looking at my shadows. I don't want to blame others, right? So if somebody is blaming others with me, the harder it is for me to really get out of that down. It looks like it's going to make me feel better, but what it's truly doing is, making me feel even deeper into that sad or lonely feeling. Yeah, because that's not my nature. My nature is love. My nature is to expand out of my comfort zone. My nature is to grow an older version of myself. And so if I stay stuck in the old version of myself, then I'm not growing, and then that's not my nature. So just wanted to remind you of all of those things, because these are things you already know, right? But they resonate differently when we hear them maybe from somebody else and when we hear them again. And maybe you're going through the same pattern where you already knew all these things, but this is a good, reminder of, oh yeah, right, I can try that again and try that again. That's what we're here in this lifetime for. Try it again, 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 again. And our brain is like, oh, you did that one that didn't work, and if you got it, you shouldn't do it again. No, we're here to try it again, to remember, and to try it again, and to try it again. And it's okay to try it again. Yeah, because when you plant a seed, there's depending on the seed, a long incubation time. And in all that time, what we're doing is reinforcing something that is invisible to the eye, right? And then the sprout comes out. But we need to be stuck to our power, to our truth, when the darkest part of that incubation is happening and we don't see the results yet. Yeah. Okay, everyone. So this was wonderful. Thank you for coming. So I'm here on YouTube. And remember, this is every Monday, right? Beneath the Surface, Monday Talks. If you want to have this information reinforced and participate in masterminds and have an intimate private group with me where I'm doing energy circles and coachings, please check in, link in bios underneath the video. I have a Luna membership. It's $25 a month, and it's really, really powerful. I also do 2 times a year one-on-one program. Doors are open for you to sign up for the waiting list. Check out all those links as well. And I do live events in San Diego, California. And I'm always doing my master classes online as well. So if you have any questions about this live, send me a DM. But if not, come about again next Monday. I'll be here on YouTube and on IG every Monday. Okay? I hope this was really helpful.